Le Quesnoy, a small town located northeast of France and 4 kilometers east of the Beautigny, was the place where 50 New Zealand soldiers who were killed in 1918 are buried. The Germans had held the town captive from August 1914, when World War I began, until 1 week before the war ended, when our New Zealand soldiers bravely recaptured the town. It was not long after this that Germany surrendered and the war was over. In all, 140 New Zealanders sacrificed their lives on this front. The capture of the French town of Le Quesnoy by the New Zealand Division on 4th of November 1918 has special significance in New Zealand's military history. This is not merely because it was the last major action by the New Zealanders in the Great War, but also because of the particular way it was captured. When the New Zealand Division attacked on the 4th of November, its units quickly bypassed Le Quesnoy and pushed further east on what was to be the New Zealanders' most successful day of the whole campaign on the Western Front. It advanced 10 kilometers and captured 2,000 Germans and 60 field guns. The day's action cost the lives of about 140 New Zealand soldiers, among them about 80 men of the 3rd New Zealand Rifle Brigade, who led the assault on Le Quesnoy, virtually the last of the 12,483 who fell on the Western Front between 1916 and 1918. Le Quesnoy is an old fortress town occupying a strategic position. It had been in the Germans' hands since 1914, and there were several thousand German troops still in the town when it was captured by the New Zealanders. The wall of Le Quesnoy could have been quickly reduced by heavy artillery, but there was no plan to mount such an assault on the town. Instead, several battalions of the 3rd New Zealand Rifle Brigade were given the task of masking the forces in the town. This set the stage for one of the New Zealand Division's most spectacular exploits of the war. When a section of the 4th Battalion reached the inner walls, about midday on 4th of November, they had already scaled the complex network of outer ramparts with ladders supplied by the sappers or engineers. But due to the height of the inner wall, the riflemen could only position a ladder on a narrow ledge atop a sluice gate. The walls were heavily fortified, and the Germans were in no mood to surrender. All the ramparts were 13 meters tall, which was too high, until the soldiers found an 8-meter ledge. This was the last and only opportunity they had. Led by Lieutenant Leslie Averill, the battalion's intelligence officer, a small group of men quickly climbed up the wall. After exchanging shots with the Germans, the New Zealanders entered the town. The garrison then surrendered. This marked the very end of a significant battle just before World War I ended. One of the soldiers, Arthur Guy Daw, an Auckland Grammar School old boy, also fell for his country in Le Quesnoy. He was born on the 5th of November 1893 and passed away on the 6th of November 1918, aged 25. It's very sad because he died so near to the end of the war. Daw enlisted on the 13th of October 1915 and was a lance corporal in his campaign. His service number was 26757. He served for 2.5 years before he tragically died of a bullet wound in the abdomen. Arthur's parents were very devastated upon hearing about his death, as he was their only child. To this day, the town of Le Quesnoy continues to mark the important role that New Zealand played in its history. Streets are named after New Zealand places, and there is a New Zealand memorial. Visiting New Zealanders are sure to receive a warm welcome from the locals, and more recently a garden was built in memory of the fallen comrades. Arthur Guy Daw has represented and carried the Auckland Grammar pride along, and his dedication to his nation is worth commemorating.